On today's episode, we're going to see the power of using your twin kinetic energy and persistence when Adrienne shows us how she was able to land an interview with one half of the Winklevoss twins.
I've been fans of them just because, they've been like twin rowers, and for me and my sister, it was kind of something to look up to. Like,
twin rowers
went to the Olympics,
and then also now like Bitcoin billionaires.
Got some money off of Facebook.
Yeah.
But I think it was just just taught me to just go for it. Like, there's no barrier. It's all in your head. And who cares if it's awkward that I sent 6 LinkedIn messages?
No.
I really don't care.
You guys look like you spent some time at the gym.
We have to.
Why?
We row crew.
Researchers find that it takes 8 touches for us to buy something from someone. In fact, that means you need to follow up 7 times to get someone to say yes. The problem is most of us give up after the first time, worried that we might be bugging someone. On this episode, you're going to see how Adrienne was able to get over that fear and continue to follow up and be persistent in order to score an interview with someone that she really admired. As a twin rower herself, she was able to score an interview with one of the Winklevoss twins from the famous social network situation, from Olympic rowers, and today, Bitcoin billionaires. It turns out that being persistent in the right, smart way can really pay off, and it's why we need to find ways that we can be smart and savvy in the ways that we get someone to know that we are persistent enough because we want their attention. When you said that was part, like someone interesting to you, I didn't actually make the full connection that you and your sister are rowers and are twins. And they are rowers and twins.
Yeah. So I honestly, that's initially how I knew them. Before Bitcoin, before all of that, just as rowers. So
me, I'm like, oh, those are like the Facebook guys.
Yeah.
You're like, no, they're Olympic rowers. Like, got it.
So I did what we kind of talked about in class, which was just kind of doing some stalking, getting connected with them on all types of social media. So I started with LinkedIn, and he actually accepted my connection. So
really?
And I think I had all my rowing background on there, so maybe that was kind of just the spark that I needed.
Right.
And then I messaged him.
These dudes are famous. Like, you're like, in terms of like mass market, I bet probably like 50 to 60% of people know this story because of the social network and all that sort of stuff. So these are not
super easy to reach.
Exactly.
So then I continued to message him on LinkedIn. I think it was like 4 or 5 times at this point. I was honestly saying the same thing, just like switching around the wording a little bit.
Right.
And then my last try, I think in parentheses at the top, I was like, I'm so sorry for like the continued perseverance, but like I really want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then he finally just responds with his email. That's it.
Cool.
And then I was like, okay, I'll run with that. I didn't really think of anything of it because I was like, okay, it's just an email. But then he forwarded my email to his personal assistant.
Wow.
And I kept talking back and forth with the personal assistant and then landed a phone interview.
You did all the right things, which is, it's, why we shouldn't be surprised that it worked. It's still ultimately cool that it does.
Yeah.
when it does that way.
Yeah.
So finally you get booked for a call.
I got booked for a call, and then I was pretty nervous, but I was just like, no, just go for it. It's just a phone call.
It's a twin. Rowing twin.
There's
pretty not many people like that have that alignment, right?
Yeah.
Did you tell them in this?
Oh yeah, and I had my Natalie. She just sat in on the phone call, and
cool.
I had her introduce herself too, just because I was like, we got to just stick with the theme.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of just honestly had a long conversation about rowing. I kind of mentioned a little bit about his current work, but I really wanted to just hear how he trained with his brother. And it was really interesting. He gave me sort of an initial sort of how he got into rowing, and I got to learn a lot about sort of the history of how he started, which I think is really important. And he only kind of trained with his brother all throughout high school. Before.
Really?
Yeah, because he and his brother founded the crew team at their program.
Oh, that's cool.
And so when they founded it, they were kind of already experienced rowers, and everyone else was sort of just getting, hopping on the bandwagon. So they always took out doubles or pairs.
Did you ever talk to another twin rower before?
No. So
was it kind of interesting for you too to I'm guessing the two of you were like, oh, interesting, that's,
it was so similar to my training, because me and my sister do the same thing when we're on the machines together. it's so mental because I know we literally have the same body type. Like there's no reason why I can't hold what she's holding.
That's right.
But I thought it was just really interesting.
So cool.
Just to talk to them about rowing and it was like by the end I was late for my class because we just
good reason to be late. I think
but it was just great to kind of like feel like I could actually have an awesome conversation with someone.
That's
like
cool.
that.
Your story is so awesome. Like, I mean, sure, you know, you were sort of doing some of this stuff, but like, your tentacles have spread in so many like interesting and unique ways that, man, super cool to watch.
Yeah.